They were upbeat and they provided energy, and I haven't seen this for a very long time when dealing with this type of work. They made us feel like we could deal with this as a team and we could move the organisation forward together. They just got it. They got our organisation, they got us, and they got what we needed to achieve. Before we begin, I think it's important to provide you with a little bit of context. I joined Gloucester Fire Rescue Service in the summer of 2021. Shortly after, in the autumn, we received our second full HMIC inspection. The outcome of the inspection found that Gloucester Fire and Rescue Service needed significant improvement in their areas of culture and an understanding of equality, diversity and inclusion. This also led to the service being placed into the Fire Performance Oversight Group. This was the first time that this had ever happened to a fire service in England. In order to move this agenda forward, my first step was to consider what other organisations who had been in similar positions had done to address these issues. We did a large review looking at how others had approached this work, and in the beginning of January 2022 we appointed Above Difference as our key partner to work with us on this journey.
So somewhere in the middle of our discussions, they had a report from HMIC GFRS, and what it did flag up was that there were serious issues around leadership, culture and inclusion. And we were invited to tender for a piece of work to help them move forward from that. Our engagement with them has been over the last 18 months, and we plotted out a journey. It wasn't just a journey about training sessions, but it started with the leadership. It was about challenging and changing cultures. It was about helping them to use some new tools that we introduced to them, including cultural intelligence, including inclusive leadership, change management and value-driven leadership, and challenging the leaders on what the vision was for the future, but also working with them to develop pathways to implement that vision. It's been a journey that's consisted of thinking of roadshows and getting leaders to actually go out and talk to their staff about what was going on. It's helped us think about what you do when you really need to lead an organisation through cultural change. And we've been really pleased to see the commitment from the leaders, the willingness to engage even when it was difficult, and the willingness to put themselves out there and do things differently, or as we say, lead difference differently.
We recognise if we were really going to change our culture and to understand EDI across our organisation, we needed buy-in at the most senior level. This was not just buy-in in terms of the journey that we were on, but actually ownership of the report and the contents of the report. The next stage of the process was to run a series of workshops for the senior leadership team, which addressed the issues around cultural intelligence, change management, leadership, and a communication strategy to support our journey.
So for us, it's always about three approaches. One is about equipping leaders. We understand that leaders define the culture of organizations. So for us, it's about how you equip leaders to be more culturally intelligent, to be more inclusive, and to be more value-driven. The second focus for us is on changing cultures. Now, we know from all the reports that we've read in the media that it's all about the cultures that allow for either good things to happen or indeed bad things to happen. And one of my favorite sayings is that the culture of any organization is determined by the worst behavior that the leader will tolerate. So for us, it's really about how we equip leaders to change the cultures of their organizations. And ultimately, it's about transforming organizations as a whole. Now, the work that we've been doing with Gloucestershire Fire Rescue Services has been about those three things. We've been on a journey with them, and we're really pleased to see how they've committed to that journey, worked with us, and are beginning to see the results of that.
I am extremely proud of the work that's not only been delivered by our senior leadership team, but the wider organisation. We have worked hard over the last 12 months to build strong foundations, including a new people plan, new training and development plans, and new equality, diversity and inclusion training packages. This has been acknowledged in the HMIC GFRS most recent revisit inspection for Gloucester Fire and Rescue Service. In their report, they acknowledge that strong foundations have been put in place and the service were in a good place to continue with their journey moving forward.
Individuals across Gloucestershire Fire Rescue Services have worked very hard over the last few months to turn things around. And we're incredibly pleased to see the results of that. Over the next few months, they'll be launching their people plan. And I really hope that will be a driver for change. We've supported them in the development of that as part of our journey with them. But we realise that actually the driver for that, to make it really land, has got to come not just from the top, but at all levels within the organisation. We wish them the best of luck. It's been a real privilege and an honour to work with them.